Your home is more than a place. It's a reflection of you. Make it uniquely yours during Steinhaffel's Make It Your Own event. From bold statement pieces to timeless classics, find your perfect fit for your style. Personalize colors and fabrics to make every piece your own. Save up to $800, and with Steinhaffel's 18-month financing, making your room yours just got more affordable. The Make It Your Own event, only at Steinhaffel's and steinhaffels.com.
That gives me chills, man.
That giving you chills. Pablo Iglesias, Jim Rutledge with you. We're in the Everlight Solar Studio. That was Let's Go Badger chants at the barn for the Minnesota Golden Gophers as the Badgers win 74-67. And Nolan, we'll start with the congratulations on the win. And what was the vibe like? What was the feeling like when you started hearing Let's Go Badger chants at the barn while you're a Minnesota kid and a Badger and pulling off the rivalry victory?
Yeah, thank you guys for having me once again. Yeah, it was a crazy feeling. Obviously, as a team, we love all that support on the road, especially in the Big Ten. It's tough to get a win on the road. We know that. So going into the barn, we saw a sea of red kind of file in before the game, and we were loving it. So throughout the whole game, we were just trying to get them involved a little bit. And at the end of the game, when that Let's Go Badger chant kind of broke out, we were loving it, and we were just trying to feed into it a little bit. But, no, it was awesome, and it was a really cool experience for sure. We're glad we could get the win.
Nolan, I know you also had some local ties to this game. I noticed that Lakeville North there. It was a funny situation. I believe, paint the picture for us too a little bit, but it looked like that they had a game originally scheduled yesterday, but that got canceled. So the backup was to come see you guys. How did that all play out for Lakeville North to come watch you play?
Yeah, usually it's like a tradition for our high school to come watch the Badgers play the Gophers. So they did have a section game that was scheduled, but we got a huge snowstorm in Minnesota yesterday that they had canceled it. So they said that they're going to try to come up and make it to the game, and that's what happened. So, yeah, they brought the whole program up there, all the coaches. So it was good for me and my fellow old teammate at Lakeville North, Jack Robinson, to see all of our coaches and good friends.
How is your teammate Jack Janicki?
You need a dentist?
Yeah.
You need some work done?
He said he's already been to the dentist. He's already got it fixed up. So I talked to him this morning. He said he's just numbed up right now, but he said visually it looks all good. I saw a picture, so he looks good. He's ready to go.
That's awesome. That's awesome to hear. Let's talk a little bit about Jack too, and especially with Max being down. I mean, he and Kamari. We were talking about this, Jim and I, a little earlier, of the roles that Kamari and Jack have been filling while Max has been out for a little bit. Hopefully Max comes back very soon, because I know the dimension he adds for you guys. But talk specifically about Jack and how he's just stepped up and what you've seen through practice, moments that we don't really get to see, and why it's translating to the court.
Yeah, I mean, obviously coming out, I used to actually play with Jack in AAU we were in like 5th grade to 8th grade, so I kind of knew that he had a little bit of talent back then. But no, he obviously had a lot of offers coming out of college, and he chose to come here as a walk-on. And man, he stuck to it through all the ups and downs. He's been a blast to watch, just kind of evolve and develop in this program. And throughout this past summer, especially. I think we all saw a huge jump in just the way he played, the way he could score the ball, just kind of his leadership. And yeah, throughout practice, we saw all these big jumps. And as a defender, he's one of the most scrappy guys we have on the team, and not afraid to get his nose in there and lose a couple teeth for us to get a win. So, no, it's been awesome to be able to play with him, and he's been a piece that really has been helping us throughout this season.
Is he one of the scrappiest guys, or is he the scrappiest guy now after that moment yesterday? What would you say?
It's been neck and neck, but losing a tooth, that's pretty scrappy to me. So he may have the upper hand, but no, we got a lot of dudes on the team that are willing to do that. He was just the one that kind of caught the short end of the stick there. But no, he's glad we could get the win.
What's your power ranking of the scrappiest guys, Wisconsin Badgers? What do we say, like top 5? Do we go?
No, just top 3.
How about top 3? Top 3. Can we get like power ranking music or? Go ahead. Just give us top 3.
Okay. Well, Janicki would be in there for sure.
There we go.
I would say Parker Gilmore would have to be in there, and then Man, I'd say Klesmit's scrappy, Kamari's scrappy.
So a tie for first?
Well, third.
No,
I think.
those
Third.
Yeah.
My bad. My bad.
Good. So Janicki, Gilly, and then either Kamari or Klez.
Thank you to Riley Young too for queuing up that music.
Well, speaking of Max, obviously Kamari and Jack done a nice job filling in, but it'll whenever he can return, it'll probably be nice to have another gritty guy have that presence. We always joke that I think the Badgers mixing it in with Tanjay and Klesmit, some older guys, 23 or pushing 24, some of them, that maturity out there helps too, I'm sure.
For sure. Yeah, we're missing him right now, but every day he's looking a little bit better, so we're hoping to have him sooner than later. But he's just one of the dudes that even when he's out, he's still having the presence, like he's there. He's yelling at us from the bench, he's trying to coach as best as he can. So it's great to be able to still have him on the bench, just feeling his presence on the bench. But yeah, we're missing him, and we can't wait for him to get back.
How antsy is he feeling right now too? I mean, I'm sure if he got the green light right now, or even if he was like probably 60%, he'd be out there. I'm sure, right?
For sure. I know Class. He's itching to get back out there. So I know whenever the doctor gives him even like a little yellow and maybe green in the light, he's ready to go out there and he's going to give it his all. He loves the state of Wisconsin, so he can't wait to go out and compete.
Talking with Nolan Winter, and Nolan, obviously Michigan State game didn't end the way you guys wanted to. I guess not in a bad way. I was shocked to see that you had 17 boards. You were getting after it there. Obviously, nice season 9 rebounds there for you, but also at the same time, that looked like one of the more physical games on the outside looking in that I've seen you guys play this year. It really felt like and maybe the after effects for hanging out in the Minnesota game, just getting beat up. But you hear it sometimes in football, you play certain teams and you feel it for a little bit afterwards. Was that Michigan State game as physical as it looked on TV?
Yeah, that was probably one of our most physical games. And going into it, we knew that it was going to be, being a Tom Izzo coach team. We knew it was going to be a dogfight and just a war. So we knew that we had to try to own the rebounding department the best that we could. And credit to them that they worked their butts off and they weren't afraid to put their bodies on the line. So, no, it was a war. But at the end of the day, we didn't get the job done and moved on to Minnesota. I'm glad we could get that win.
Nolan, how do these, this recent stretch, especially, Michigan State, you guys pull out a gutsy win on the road at Minnesota. How does this stretch prepare you guys for Big Ten tournament and March ahead?
For sure. I mean, it prepares us in all sorts of ways, from being away from our home, being away from our fans, and just kind of having to go through all the challenges that throws at us with the fans and the away crowds and just the tenacity. Minnesota's a team that's never going to back down no matter who the opponent is. We've seen their resume. So obviously that was a great win for us, and we were glad that we could go in there and get the win. And then playing a Michigan State team who is, obviously one of the better in the country right now. Just having that experience under our belt, knowing, what's gonna kind of come at us in March. That's a great experience for us. And although we lost, we got a lot to learn from that. And we're excited to get ready for this tournament time. Obviously, we got Penn State on Saturday. We're not going to overlook that. But, once we get to tournament, I think we're going to be well prepared with all the challenges that we've had this year.
I think you guys are. Big Ten, I think, does set you guys up for success in the tournament. Penn State, last home game of the year, senior night, which is always just feels a little different as it goes along, just because for a player to have a full career at any college now seems rare. But Stephen Krull, Carter Gilmore, Max Klesmit, just to name a few, Kamari McGee, and then Tanjay, who's obviously a transfer in. But it is a kind of an opportunity to honor whether it's the long or short-term commitments those players have made to the Badgers, and it's got to be one as a younger player. You want to make sure that you guys are playing your best game, that last game at the Kohl Center this year.
For sure. We know how special senior night is, especially to our seniors, so we're going to go out there, give it our all, and hope that we can get all the seniors in there and see all of them and get some good minutes. But no, especially for, the people that stuck it out here through Wisconsin, through all the ups and downs, and those people especially, we want to put on a show for them and make sure that they have the best night that they can.
Who's a senior in particular in this group, Nolan, that you feel like gave you the biggest lesson that you could learn from this year? If it's a speech somewhere in the locker room or a moment in practice, who's one senior that you think you could pinpoint in terms of a great learning and growing opportunity?
Obviously, Stephen Crow, being a big man and coming in last year, he taught me a lot of just physicality and how the Big Ten's going to be. Going against him in practices in the summer and the fall, just as a freshman, it showed me a lot, and he taught me a lot through that. He'd kick my butt some days, and then after he'd kind of explain to me like how he did what he did, and just little snippets that I can take from that. So obviously, he had a big hand in my development and all that kind of stuff. And then Max Klesmit, him especially, just as a leader and what he does on and off the court for me. I wouldn't be where I am today, I don't think, without those two guys especially. Along with all the other seniors, they've all had a hand in my career here. But thus far, I'd say Klesmit and Stephen Crowell have kind of took me under their wings and led me to the right direction of being a Badger.
As the regular season kind of wraps up here, how are you feeling about physically? Like, it's kind of a long run here. Now it gets a little different, the schedule does, because then you get a little break here, then you got the Big Ten tournament, then you get another break, and hopefully you guys will have a couple weekends in March. But how's everything? Are you feeling run down? I mean, sometimes guys drop weight. Like, how's the team doing? How are you doing physically, getting ready for a kind of a change up in the schedule after this Penn State game?
Yeah, I think our coaches do a good job with giving us, like, not overworking us, but working us the right amount to know that we still got a game to get ready for. So obviously, I think every team in the Big Ten especially is kind of beat up right now and just kind of drained a little bit. But credit to our coaching staff, they get us ready to go for every game, and they take care of our bodies, knowing that to not overwork it, especially this time of year with it being early March and we got big tournaments ahead of us. We're gonna just kind of try to keep our legs fresh and ready and get our bodies right. And if we're ever hurt, we got all the trainers that we need in the world to go get right. So no, it's a credit to the coaching staff and our strength coach and everything for keeping us fresh and ready to go for the games. But like I said, I think every team in the Big Ten's kind of beat up a little bit right now, so it's good.
Nolan, just from an overall perspective, this time of year for basketball fans, for basketball players, how exciting is this time of the year with March?
Man, it's the best. Like, this is what you work for all year for. So we can't wait to get going in March, and especially March Madness and the Big Ten tournament. We made a run last year, so we're hoping to do that again. But no, we can't wait. This is what you work all summer for, all fall for. So we're looking forward to it for sure.
I do actually have one more before we let you go. You mentioned that run that you guys made in the Big Ten championship to the Big Ten championship game. When we had Sharif Chambliss on here a few weeks ago, he said that you and John learned a lot from those moments of being young guys that got to be in those games. What do you feel like you learned the most through last year's experience of playing in both the Big Ten championship game and also having a March Madness appearance?
Yeah, for me, I just say, like, I learned what being a team was. I mean, obviously last year we had a skid where we lost a lot, and it kind of led up to the Big Ten tournament. And going into that, we really united and had each other's backs, knowing, like, you know what, let's go play some basketball, let's have fun, let's play with joy. And yeah, I think as it went on, we just learned to love each other more and more. And as we won each game, we were one step closer, and we knew that, and we had each other's backs. And it was just a really cool feeling. It just felt like a true family in there in the locker room and on the court. Yeah, I learned a ton with it being the team aspects, or myself guarding Zach Edey in the Big Ten tournament. Like, I learned what it takes to become a good big in the league. So, yeah, I think John would attest to that too, that we all learned a lot from on and off the court what it takes to be a winner.
One last thing, you talked about kind of physically resting. I'm sure there's got to go mental rest here as the season goes on. So what do you stream? What do you do to kind of, when you're chilling out, what do you do to kind of reset the brain in between classes and the games and kind of help calm yourself down?
I've been trying to watch more movies lately, and I've been asking teammates for all sorts of recommendations. So I love, like, movies with a good plot twist or something like that. So I'm into, like, all these, like, Christopher Nolan movies right now. But yeah, I'll be watching movies, play some video games maybe with the team, just kind of relax, hang out with some friends, just take my mind off of things a little bit.
If I'm not wrong, I believe it was with the team that went to back-to-back Final Fours. It was Super Mario Kart was their big game that they all played together. But that was actually, I think, on the Super Nintendo. But now I'm guessing everyone plays it on the Switch.
Probably, or the Wii. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. We do actually play that on road games. We'll have a group of us go play that in the hotel. So that still is sticking around.
It's still a Badger tradition.
Who's the big gamer? Yeah. I know that there's a lot of guys that are gamers on this team. Who's the gamer on this team?
Either Max Klesmit or John Blackwell, I'd say. Those two are kind of the big ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Noel, we'll get
Now
back
we know.
to your relaxing time as you get ready for the home closing game of the season against Penn State. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, sir. All right. Thank you guys
right.
for having me. Good to talk to you.
You
Thanks,
too.
Nolan.
That's Nolan Winter. He joins us every Thursday at 1 o'clock, and we're excited. I believe we're going to have 2 guests next week. Once that's fully confirmed, we'll release it. But
What a tease.
We will definitely have Nolan Winter next week, and maybe another legendary Badger joining the show as well as we head into tournament time there. Pablo